Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. I'm Tammy, Creative Girl Vintage, and my thing is crafting with vintage materials that I find when I'm out flea marketing and thrifting. And today's project is an altered antique bottle that I found at an antique bottle show. So if you need a bit of crafting therapy today, then just relax and enjoy the process. So let me tell you a little bit about this little antique bottle here. I'm not an antique bottle expert, but my husband has been collecting and digging antique bottles since he was a kid. So this is an old bluing bottle. There was a bluing liquid in this that you used in your laundry to get whiter whites. And this bottle dates back to the 1860s. And what I love, this is usually the type of antique bottles that I'm attracted to. It has this iridescence on here, which is from the acids that were in the soil. This bottle was dug, so it spent a lot of years in the ground. So, and this look, you can't wash it off, so it's just part of the history. And then speaking of history, someone was actually using this bottle while Abraham Lincoln was president. Now, that's just pretty awesome, right? I mean, seriously. So let's decorate this. Okay, so I found on Etsy a little digital download. You know, I love those. The shop was Amy B Vintage. I'll put a link down there for you so you can go check her out. And this was a vintage button card that she scanned, mermaid pearls. Isn't that just so pretty? And it just so happened that I had a big box full of mother of pearl vintage buttons that came from an old sewing factory in South River, New Jersey. So felt really lucky to have these, and I use these things like crazy. I use them for just about everything. It's one of these glued on them. So they were like the perfect thing to go with this project. So the first thing that I did here is I just printed out the little label. I got it to the size I wanted it and cut it out. I usually will just kind of trim the edges a little bit just to give it a little bit more finished look. And then I always like to pull out my little Ranger distressing ink here. And I'll just go around the edges a little bit just to kind of give it a little bit of age. Oh, that looks really pretty. Okay. Love this stuff. All right, so a little bit of Mod Podge. You guys see that okay? I didn't know if I had my camera down too low. All right, so just gonna put a little bit of the Mod Podge on the back of my little paper here. This was just printed on plain computer paper. I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottle as well. Lay that right on. Yeah, sometimes when you put it on both surfaces, you can slide it around a little bit till you get it right where you want it. Got a little wrinkle in there. I didn't really want that. I think I got it out. There we go. All right, that was easy. Okay. Now, I think what we want to do next is fill it up with some really good stuff. So since this is mermaid pearls, we're going to go for our little mother of pearl buttons here. I'm going to put them inside. Just grab a bunch of them and fill it up. Okay. And another little found object I have here is at a flea market. I found this pearl necklace, which I just took apart. And now I have all these little vintagey pearls. I'm going to put them inside the bottle as well. Let's see, it's starting to look pretty back there. Okay. Then I was thinking, I had these little tiny pink seashells. Dump some of them in there. Okay, and then to finish it off, I have here, instead of just straight out glitter, this is mica flakes. These are really pretty. They're just fluffy and sparkly. So I'm going to just drop some of these inside here. Just getting a little bit of sparkle all over the place, but that's okay. Can never have too much sparkle. So there, see how pretty that looks inside for our mermaid pearls? Really cute. Okay, I have a little cork. So since we filled this up and we don't want it spilling out all over, I'm going to take a little bit of E6000 and I'm just going to hit the inside of that lip just a tiny bit. So when I put my cork down in there, push it down, it's going to stick to that glue. So it'll stay in place and won't pop out. All right, next. What should we do next? Okay, I am going to, I've got a piece of vintage lace here. Let's tie it around in a pretty bow around the neck. Pretty. This is easy enough. That lace is so pretty, isn't it? Okay. Trying to just make this bow look a little bit smaller. Okay. Still don't have it looking exactly like I want it, so I'm just going to play with it a little bit. This is the therapy part, you guys. Okay. All right. Okay. There we got that. Now, I found this little piece of wire in my stash. Now this is some super small gauge wire. It's just really flimsy, and I don't remember where I got it, but I'm pretty sure it had to be somewhere like Michael's in the jewelry section. They have all this type of, all different gauges of wire. So this is just a little piece I just dug out of my craft drawer. I'm going to take my tweezers here and just kind of wrap the end around them a little so my pearls won't fall off. And then I'm just going to grab some buttons. Some buttons on here. Let's put some pearls on. And just fill this up. I'm aiming towards making a little mermaid pearl necklace is what we're going to make here. I don't have my glasses on, so that's not very helpful. I just wanted to let you know there's a link to my Etsy shop is below. And if you're watching this before June 10, 2020, I'm listing all my patriotic on the 10th. So if you want to take a peek, I also did a video on that patriotic. You can see how it turned out, and there's a little tutorial too that you can enjoy there. And over in my shop announcement at Etsy, there's always the times and dates that I'll be listing. And I'm going to be making more of these bottles as well, and they're going to be in my Etsy shop. Okay, so I don't bore the socks off you guys. I have one of these made that I put together. And I just made a little size that I thought I can just kind of slip over the top of the bottle. So let's move this stuff out of the way here. And all I did was just kind of putting this together like a little necklace and twisting my wire. Get that a little closer there. Just twisting up my wire a little bit to close that, make a little circle. Cut it with some wire cutters and just bend it down so I have my little necklace. I'm going to take that and just put it over the top of the bottle. I'm going to take my little lacy bow here, kind of pull that through a little bit. Get that to lay on there, kind of just like that, kind of get it in position. And then the back here, I am going to grab just a little bit of hot glue. I'm just going to touch it on the back there, lay that on just to hold it in place. And then to finish it off, I've got a little tiny piece of that vintage lace. I'm just going to cut like just a little square. And then I'll put a little hot glue right on that there and just place that on top. Just a little finishing touch, and it just kind of holds it all in place. Finishes it off a little too. Gives you sticky glue fingers. All right, so there's our little pearl necklace on there in place. It's pretty. Kind of adjust my little lace bow here a little bit. Pull that out so it looks a little fluffier. Okay, and then this is a favorite seam binding of mine. I made a little bow here that I found at the flea market. Isn't that color just unbelievable? I'm going to do a little dot of hot glue, and I'm going to put that right on that lace right there. Okay, and then I'm going to grab one of my mother of pearl buttons and lay that on top just like that. My little lace bow wants to get a little twisty. There we go. I straightened him right out. The nice thing about the wire too for this little pearl necklace is you can kind of manipulate it a little, kind of bend it to where you want it. Okay, this is looking good, gotta tell you. All right, now this is another one of my little found objects here. This was a little charm bracelet. Some of the shells were broken off of it, so I'm going to take one of the pink shells and use it today. So I'm just gonna cut that off of there, off of the bracelet. See, you just find all this fun stuff. And I'm going to glue it on top of that little cork. Let's see. So I don't want to glue it on like right there, I think. Okay, I'm going to lay that right there on top. All right, this is coming along nicely. It's super simple, right? Okay, the last thing I'm going to do, grab my glitter bowl, grab a little Mod Podge. Okay, and just going to take and dab a little bit of glitter just around here, around the little label. I'm going to sprinkle a little on there, dab a little bit more glue up here on this cork and the lip of this bottle. This is a mold blown bottle with a rolled lip. They roll the lip back to cover up all the sharp edges. All right, sprinkle a little glitter on that. I think we need a little bit of glitter on top of this pink seashell too. Just see it happening. Okay, Now, you guys, look at this. Isn't this cute? Let's move this stuff out of the way here so we can have a good look at what we just made. Yeah. Well, I thought that was pretty relaxing. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and so we can share more relaxing crafting time together. I'm wishing you a happy, blessed, creative day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.